What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of When Frogs Fly. It is day 11 of 30 of working every day in May, and it is very windy out here, so my hair is kind of crazy at the moment. But today's going to be a good day. We have two short legs. We're going to Raleigh, Durham, and then right back to Charlotte. Those are like 30-minute flights apiece. And then we go down to Houston for a nice long layover. Hopefully there's something around the airport this time. Last time we had this length of a layover, there was absolutely nothing around when we were down in Austin. So hopefully this one goes a little bit better. But regardless, we're going to have some fun on this trip. So let's go hop on an airplane, go start working. Well, we are in an interesting situation. We got canceled for our flight to Houston after we were so delayed. And then randomly they've just split up our entire crew. So one of the girls switched to a different flight to Houston. One of the girls is going to Boston, and they have me going to LaGuardia. So, and then tomorrow we're all deadheading back to Charlotte to pick up our trip to go to Pittsburgh together again. So I don't know how that's gonna actually turn out. I feel like it's gonna mess us up tomorrow again as well, but we'll see. And we're not even working lead now. I was working the number one on this trip, and then for this leg, I'm the number 4 in the back. So weird stuff. But we just go with the flow. It's always an adventure. So I guess now let's go to LaGuardia. We have made it. I was really worried because they said that we were going to divert to JFK, but we made it. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Long day. My crew is doing an ODAN, so they are turning around and heading back to the airport in like 3 or 4 hours. So they're just taking a quick nap and then heading back to Charlotte, working the first flight out. And then me, I am deadheading on a 3:55 flight. Yeah, so basically a 4 p.m. flight back to Charlotte. So I'm going to be deadheading. And then Susan is deadheading back in from Boston around the same time. And then Sam got stuck working, so she's going to be working that flight from Houston with the other crew back to Charlotte. And then we're all going to sync back up to work our flight to Pittsburgh. So, and then we should be good for the rest of the trip, hopefully. But that's if I don't get stuck, if Susan doesn't get stuck, if Sam doesn't get stuck. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least, to kind of see how it all pans out. But then on our flight in, apparently LaGuardia has a curfew. I don't know if it's just for the weekend or if it's just for Sundays or if it's all the time, but normally they shut the airport down, like no inbound flights after midnight, and we weren't supposed to get here until 12:26. And so halfway through the flight, we're like in the middle of our service, and the pilot comes on to make an announcement, and he's like, he's chit-chatting, and they normally do like 20-minute announcements or whatever, and so like I didn't think anything of it. And so he starts talking, and then the passenger stops me in the middle of the announcement when I'm serving drinks, and she's like, "Hey, did he just say we're going to JFK?" And I'm like, "No, there's no way. Like, it had to have been a mistake." And so, like, again, I just didn't think anything of it. And then another passenger a couple rows back was like, "Hey, did he just say we're going to JFK?" And I'm like, "There's no way. Like, it had to have been a mistake." And so I sat there for a second, and I just kept serving my drinks. And then the guy in the back said something about it. I'm like, was that a mistake or what? So we weren't sure. But then the pilot kept doing his announcement, and sure enough, he's like, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to divert our flight to JFK instead of LaGuardia. And then it kind of goes on to explain about the curfew thing. And so it's like, great, even more adventures on top of everything tonight. But then about 5 minutes goes by, and then he comes back across and says, hey, we've just talked to the tower. I think they're going to try and keep it open for us tonight. So now the plan is to still go on to LaGuardia. So turns out it was just a big debate. Like we never had anything to worry about because they ended up waiving their curfew somehow. So they just decided to keep the airport open later tonight. So I don't know how any of that works. I don't know why there's a curfew. I don't know why they shut the airport down at a certain time. I don't know if it's for noise at a certain hour or what. I have no idea. But somehow, some way, they got it waived. They avoided it. And we just hauled all the way there. We were landing so fast. It was crazy. But it just felt like a fast landing. But we made it. Made it safe. We're here at the hotel in LaGuardia. So, crazy day. Always an adventure. But anywho, I'm going to go to bed, and I will see y'all in the morning. Well, good morning. It is almost 11 a.m., so it was a great night's sleep. We didn't get in until 1:30, super late night. But anywho, I'm starving, so I'm gonna go downstairs and try to find some food. If there's nothing here downstairs that looks tasty, there's a Dunkin' Donuts a quarter mile down the street that I'll walk to. But it's kind of rainy and gloomy out, so I don't know. Hopefully the weather kind of holds for a minute. It's not the worst view I've ever had, but it does look like it's gonna keep raining, so I may just settle for something here. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Do you want to be going down?
Yeah, I was.
Well, it's cold and rainy here, but the breakfast downstairs is $18 for a continental breakfast and $20 if you wanted a full breakfast. And so I said, heck no, dude. I am out on that. So now we're walking in the rain. Well, this is gross. 2 muffins. And nothing special about it, coffee, except for they had a little thing of vanilla that I could pump in it. $9. And they won't give me the airport or the American Airlines discount on the little market items, only their $20 breakfast that they sell you. It's a scam, I tell you. It's a scam. So I'm gonna eat my muffins. I'm super disappointed too. I walk all the way down the freaking street in the rain and in the cold, and I get over to where it says it was, and it's not there. It's on the other side of the road. But the other side of the road is like a highway. So I'm like, I can't walk down there. So I don't know where the stupid thing was, but we'll make do with what we got. And like, not even that is around here. Like, it's just the airport. So I'm really bummed that we weren't in Houston, because I think that was going to be a nice hotel. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just projecting, but I'm bummed out. So, and then tonight is literally at the airport. Like, you don't even get on a bus to go to an airport hotel. You're like, you walk out the terminal in the same building into the hotel. So, for shame, dudes, for shame. But we'll make the most of it. We'll have fun. I'm gonna look up later and see if they have an indoor pool. If they do, after I eat, I'm gonna go to the pool for a little bit. If they don't have an indoor pool, well, then I guess I'm stuck in the room watching videos or something, because there ain't nothing to do here. So I'll let you know. All right, gang. We just finished getting ready to go, and let's go to the airport. We have the deadhead. I decided to go in uniform. I was super tempted just to go out of uniform and then even like potentially go home, but I didn't want to risk it. I decided against it, unfortunately. As nice as that would have been to go hang out at the house for a bit, but I don't know what traffic's like. I don't know what weather's like. I don't know, you know, all the above. I don't want to mess with fate or whatever you want to say. So we are gonna go in uniform, and we're just gonna stay at the airport in Charlotte for a little bit until our flight. So find something to do to piddle around. I may even hop in the car and drive to like Quick Trip or something and get a coffee or a drink or something like that. So we'll see. But yeah, let's get out of New York. Well, I get a small treat. I get to sit in first class for my deadhead. Count your blessings, right? Let's go to Charlotte. Well, today's been a whirlwind of just flipping right back and forth, hadn't it? So I have decided to go ahead and leave the airport for a little bit. Weather's beautiful. I need some fresh air. I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna do yet. I'll kind of decide when I get to the car. But I'm either going to go home or just go for a drive and get some fresh air. We'll see. You know, there's got to be some sort of a science behind like getting out of work clothes, because even just like loosening up my collar and taking my tie off, I feel like a million times better. So I'm just gonna relax. I think I am gonna go home. Got like an hour and a half, 2 hours ish before I gotta head back to the airport, so might as well go home and hang out for a little bit and just chill, relax. So I'm gonna do that. Maybe get some gas on my way home, that way I don't gotta worry about it later. And that's the plan. Halfway through our 3-day and we're going home just to come back. Works out. Well, it is now 9 o'clock. I've decided to go ahead and go on to the airport because I don't want to have to worry about going through security again. Last time I did that, they had to call a supervisor, and it took them like 45 minutes to show up to let us through. So once our security closes, because we have our own special one, that closes at 10. So I'm gonna stop for a quick burger and then head on to the airport and then just hang out with Sam and Susan until it's time to go. So hopefully we don't get delayed much further, and it'll be a quick and easy and a painless rest of our evening. So we'll see how it goes, but that's the plan. So let's go get some food. Well, burger was delicious. We made it back to the airport. We're still pretty early, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, you know. So we're gonna go hop on a bus and we're gonna try to get to Pittsburgh tonight. With this trip so far, I am this is our leg number 5 out of a total of 8 for the whole 3-day, and all 5 of them have been delayed. And depending on what time we land tonight, we're gonna have to delay our flight in the morning because we have to, FAA requires us to get a certain amount of rest overnight between flights. And so if we don't get 8 hours at the hotel, we have to delay our flight in the morning, and it's getting pretty close to having to do that. So we'll have to see how tonight goes, and we may have to delay our flight in the morning. And then we don't have a lot of time between that flight and the 2 tomorrow either. So we might end up having a total of going 8 for 8 on delays for this trip. So we'll see how it goes. Well, the saga continues. We got on board our flight. We're getting ready to start boarding here in the next few minutes. And the pilot gets on board and says that maintenance has to come on to look at the computer screens up in the cockpit, and that's where the gauges are, so that's kind of a big deal. So I'll keep you posted. Hello, 21 hours over cross check. Thank you. Whew, we made it. Finally. It's 2:12. We have exactly 8 hours and 13 minutes until we have to be downstairs to meet. Nope, that's not right. 8.5 hours till we gotta be downstairs and meet. So I'm gonna quickly go to bed. But the only saving grace about today, we got the big bed. I'm so excited. I love the big bed. It's my favorite. But gosh dang it, if it wasn't just the craziest day. We finally get ready to get boarded up, and there's another freaking maintenance thing. So that's a bummer, but it happens. Hell. I'm not even gonna be able to formulate anything except for ums. So I think I covered most of the day and other stuff that I did, but it was a long day. And tomorrow we got 3 more legs. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. One more day. We have short flights today. We don't have much sits in between, so that's nice. And we're all ready to go. So let's get after it. I went the wrong way. It's that way. I should have got up early to come watch airplanes land and take off. Run! Saran wrap do you need for one potato chips. Well, we couldn't go the whole trip with a single on-time departure. So we get on this plane, came in on time, we were all set to go, and they brought it in and said that the handset is broken and they had to write it up. Because it's like a safety thing, like if there was an emergency, like I have to be able to tell and communicate to passengers what's going on. So we are waiting on maintenance again. We're going to be delayed on this one, and since we're bringing this airplane right back, that means that our 8th flight is also going to be delayed, more than likely, unless he fixes it in 2 minutes and we get boarded up super fast. But yeah, so we're going to go for a full 8 for 8 flights being delayed the whole trip. Oh gosh. But we're just chilling right now. We've got some fancy coffee. I was feeling something sweet and I was getting a little sleepy, so just figured I'd, you know, get the best of both worlds, you know. But yeah, hopefully we'll get out of here soon, and it won't make our night too late. But it's like a 2.5 hour flight, so we'll see how it goes. We made it. We've survived. We're actually able to make up a lot of time on our very last flight. We still left late. I'm still holding to that. It was 8 out of 8 legs were all delayed. We were late the entire trip. But we finished off strong with the redemption story. We got in early. What? Got in early on our very last leg. So that was cool. Good to go home 5 minutes before I would have. Anyhow, I'm not even gonna talk about the next trip yet because y'all are gonna tune in and watch it anyways. So I'll just say in summary, it was a good trip, even though we were delayed the whole time. That kind of gives you a glimpse into how this job is not always peaches and cream, you know what I mean? It has its highs and it also has some lows, but we make the most out of it, especially when it's a good crew. You know, it's one thing if you're stuck and getting rerouted and all this, but like if the crew's cool, if y'all are enjoying hanging out, then like, you know, you can do whatever you want to with me. You sit there for, you know, 4.5 hours delay and all this, like it's really not that big of a deal. So was blessed to have a really cool crew this time, and we made it happen. So gonna go home, get a good night's sleep in my own bed, and then start again tomorrow. So I will see you guys in the next video. Well, first I'll say I hope...
I don't understand. I'm dead and then start again tomorrow, so I will see you guys in the next video.
Alright, Siri, chill. Chill. Oh, why did I close that? It's been a long day. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. So, see ya.